All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A little late today. I'm going to have to set my alarm probably about 10 minutes earlier. So let's take a look at our markets today, see what we're doing, and go from there. All right, we'll take a look at the coins moving for, or stocks moving for the day, or pre-market. All right, quite a few up over 10%. Looks like all the ones on this list up over 10%. I don't own any of them, which is normal. DTEA, CLRB, OGEN. What up, Nighthawk? Ooh, look at that, OGEN. That's a lot of volume on the right-hand side there. It's a NASDAQ stock, too. That's worth looking into. I'm going to write that one down, although last time I wrote stuff down didn't really work. Why is the Russell down so hard? I don't know. Let me see. What's the futures for the Russell? I don't know the futures for the Russell. NQES. I've never traded those. What's up, Noel? Oh, wow. Yesterday it was down hard. Oh, interesting. That's usually not a good sign. Really, it's not usually not a good sign. It's best when the Russell and the NASDAQ run together. That's typically the way it's been in the past. Still looking, interested in that ticker symbol. Here we go. Yes. Russell 2000. What's the ticker symbol? RT? RUT? No. Okay, so that. Trying to look it up on my other screen, but I'm not getting a thing. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's the first I'm actually seeing that. That's not good though. TS. That's trading symbol. Come on, man. TF. Nope. IWM. No, that's not futures. That's just an ETF. Close enough. Yeah, so the NASDAQ is down about 0.2%. Looks like it's come poked down. The main thing buoying the NASDAQ is Apple and Amazon. They make up a disproportionate amount of the NASDAQ. I'm not sure who makes up the most of the Russell 2000. Anywho, not going to spend too much on the particulars, but this OGEN is an interesting stock. I like all the volume down there. Look at that massive green volume. It's popping up higher, not coming down, which is a change in behavior. EDRY, TRPX, almost the same for that one. EDRY, what are you? Maybe some super stocks in the future. Atom looking okay. Not too bad right there. Kind of a nice sideways action. ATLC, look at that yesterday. That was a big, huge. It's up 30%. Volume didn't really follow though. DGLY, OMER, VBIV. What's up, Blah? Oh, Sanct. Hey, Blah, yeah, so, if we do get moving, that bar on the Russell actually doesn't do me any favors there. I really don't like that. VBIV not really moving there. Come on. Man, nice and rainy here in Arizona. That's another good one. YGYI. Look at that pumpy thing. A very good volume here. Had similar volumes in the past, but it's moved higher. See what that does. That needs to form a base before you can try to think about buying that one. Oh, that's IGC, man. What is up with this? A bunch of these little guys just rocking. That's quite from 1 already up to 9. Look at that. Popped up once, pulled back, volume expanded. It's at $9. I'm not sure what IGC is, but it's worth a look. That's pretty neat. A lot of volume going on there. Not moving higher quite yet. I got 20 seconds to the market open. Let's take a look at Noel's asking about BA, EC, Send, and Cyber. I like BA. BA is great right here. It's going to hopefully get pretty far pretty fast. I took a position in it. EC, your buy point is already passed. We covered that when it happened. That was down here. It's up too high. You don't want to get involved in a stock up that high. Send is doing pretty good. It needs to cross this trend line here to get interesting. Needs to make sure it crosses that trend line. But Send's good. I don't mind that. Cyber. Looks like it's pulling in here. The volume yesterday was a little aggressive. Looks like it's almost all about but filled this gap, so it may reverse here. Unless the market tanks, but usually the Russell won't lead a market decline like that. It may lead to a pause. Yeah, that's interesting right there, to be honest with you. Out of those, I think Boeing's probably your best one. It hasn't really run yet. Cyber's pulling back. Send is basing. EC has already moved well too far. BA is just out of a buy range. Maybe today's a pullback day. Scare a bunch of people on a Tuesday. Stitch Fix is down 21%. Usually not a good thing. Yep, looks like a quiet day today, guys. NASDAQ going towards flat, only down 0.06%. Silver and gold bull, will Fed dump it? What do you mean will Fed dump it? Not sure what you mean by that, Sanct. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be a bull in the gold market. We've been looking at gold for, we look at gold every once in a while here. and it's it broke a recent trend line right there, and it's been going lower ever since. We had a price target of 112. Looks like that's already been hit. It's at 113.8 right now. If you want to get bullish on gold, you can probably. Oh, you're short. Yeah, you're shorting it. If you want to go bullish, probably 115 and change is a level where you can go long if it can overtake this. But it's been in a downtrend. This looks like a little H pattern or a bear flag, which usually implies downside movement. In terms of silver, it looks like it has very similar action. Silver has kind of a double bottom feeling to it. Not sure how well that's going to bounce, but I'll just have to wait and see. Well, when you have a strong dollar, the precious metals don't do very well. Because all these are priced in dollars. So when the dollar's worth more, the commodity price is worth less. Yeah, I agree, Nighthawk. All right, so what's moving? We got SNCR up there just a little bit. We got Urban. I mean, not much is really jumpy today. That's not the end of the world. Market's got a pause. CVNA, a stock that we noted here a while ago, putting in a very nice pause, a very low basing area. Could possibly be good for a pullback entry if you think this market is bullish. At the same time, there's definitely some distribution here, but we haven't really hawked in on this chart for a while since it's been running. Look at that big high volume candle. That's definitely some buying pressure as it moves higher throughout the day and closes well over half of the day's bar range. So that's pretty interesting there. This red bar here is another high bar, closed in the top 75% of the range. This one closed in the top 30% of the range. Not horrible, but not great. Big green bar with obviously some selling right there. And yesterday's bar took us lower. So yeah, maybe see how this plays out if you want to take a flyer position really low here towards this. Give yourself a stop maybe under here. Maybe here towards 55 for a potential shakeout move. But if you guys are looking for something small to trade, that's about a 4 to 5% stop loss. So that's not too bad. Not too bad. Nothing major bullish right here. But again, if you do zoom out, the chart is overall in an uptrend. And nice little flat bottom area. Could potentially get interesting. Just kind of have to wait and see on that one. All right, NASDAQ down again, 0.3%. It was getting towards flat. Then it failed there. Let's take a look at the Russell 2000, which as was just pointed out yesterday. Wow. So there's a very long-term trend in the Russell. I'm going to blow this up so I can draw these trend lines a little bit nicer. So that's a good trend in the Russell. We also have, looks like a subsequent trend line here. Just about there, give or take. It's bounced down here several times before bouncing. So you kind of have two levels there on the Russell for us still to be healthy. This goes all the way back to the correction there about 2015 or so. Yeah, bounced back to 0.18. So definitely oscillating here back and forth. Moving up is good though. We'll see if it can maintain higher. There's definitely a kind of a level of support that would ideally would hold something like that. Even omitting these two wicks in the NASDAQ, I think that would be healthy. But I don't Not a big fan of this bar right there yesterday. Remember I said in the morning it's going to really, we need to see really where we close, and we ended up closing lower. So it looks like it's distributing. They're distributing the NASDAQ stocks at about this level. You see the top close there almost equaled the top close here. So that's an interesting interesting situation right there. And then with the Russell, the larger sell-off in the Russell yesterday, showing the liquidation of a few positions, absolutely. And probably maybe that Canada, that weird new NAFTA is a selling opportunity for institutions if they're already looking to liquidate positions. Although to be honest with you, Nighthawk, not really. Not really. The chart patterns do work fairly well in Forex. I just haven't lost enough money to be good at Forex yet. I really didn't like the 24/7 aspect of it, which is funny because then I got into crypto. So, yeah, I don't know about that. There we go. But down 0.4, so definitely oscillating, but slowly moving lower. So we'll see. Yeah, right? I know the irony. Well, luckily I've been able to sleep lately, so that's been good. Wasn't sleeping in 2017. Tell you that much right now. All right, let's look at these ones that are down the most today. We got Stitch Fix with a huge gap down. This is why you don't buy before earnings, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. Right there. That's exactly why you don't really try not to hold a stock over earnings. And yes, this was a high volume sell candle. No, that isn't indicative of what it was going to do for earnings. Been lots of studies on that. None of those studies show any kind of correlation. Anthem really dropping lower the past few days. Bit VIP's just really in a rush to get to zero for some reason. NetEase, MDB, Huya. Ooh, that's going to take IQ down with it. YY, Tilroy basing out here today, down 3%. TTD failing a little bit there, taking some of those recent gains off the table. And yesterday's volume was much more accelerated. This is something we haven't seen lately, guys, is accelerated volume on selling. We haven't seen that a whole heck of a lot. BLFS, which was looking really nice out of that, completely failed and pulled all the way back. So I'm assuming most of these will be in the Russell. A lot of these are going to be smaller cap names. EDU probably not. BLFS will be a smaller cap name. Cyber probably will not be. Newer will be. TSM. Cron. Not much to see there in Cron. Here dropping. Send moving lower there. Check Nokia stock. Is it still NOK? Yes, it is. Yeah, gappy gap. That's rangeless, trendless. That's just trendless right there. Just avoid that at all costs. Which side of this gap would you rather be caught in, by the way? Just so, I mean, this is called an island bottom. You're trapped down here. If you try to short down here thinking it was going to be a continuation, you were trapped. But either way, this is a very gappy stock. I would just avoid it until it, clears this $6 level, whatever. I just would not even looking at it. Not even keeping it on the radar. It's not worth it. You want stocks that want higher, that are going higher, that are consolidating higher. That's what you want. Basically, it's like, would you like a race car that is consistently in the top 5, or a race car that gets first, 20th, second, 15th, 5th, 22nd. And, you know, just oscillating back and forth, back and forth. No, you actually would like a race car that's fairly consistent. Like here in Eli Lilly, here's some consistency right there. No major pullbacks. That's institutional accumulation. Um, I mean, that's really what you would like to see. Even IDXS here, over a very similar time frame, looks. What do we got here? So this is daily. This is daily. Yeah, so all right through here. Let's try to keep it the same. So that's pretty similar between Eli Lilly and IDXS. And this thing is very tight and narrow trading range, and this thing is all over the place. Which would you rather be involved in if you want to play a longer term directional move? That's pretty much what I like to do. I generally won't play these little swings. I like to play these breakouts out of these larger bases like this. I like to trade that, you know. That's ideally what I'd like to do. And so stocks like Eli Lilly that just have this big jump here and have gone sideways show a lot of support, like this candle down here. Those are the ones that really work for me. Yeah, you. Huh. No, I like it. I like it. So there's your run up consolidation here. You've got a trend line here. Looks like it's trying to it'll break this in some time, and then it'll be all yours for the low price of $3.40. So yeah, Quad U, they're looking pretty good. Just gotta wait for it to break out. All right, looks like the market's got a little bit healthier. 2 stocks up 3%, 5 or 6 stocks up 2%, and several stocks up 1%. Didn't quite have that before. Regeneron, WHD. WHD looking good, guys. I messed up my position. Well, I guess I didn't mess it up. I was just impatient with it, which probably implies messing it up. Yeah, I got into it on this false breakout here, and then I ended up selling it. So it was showing some distribution type of patterns. Volume wasn't very aggressive though. I guess I arbitrarily closed it too soon, and I'd be greatly in profit up here. Oh well. Live and learn. Hopefully. At least that's the goal. Man, this is hard to hold through all these ups and downs. But here recently, look at that, poking into highs. Happy living up here, so that's a good sign. Even with the added volatility of all these little wicks to the upside, it's still working so far. So I'm not too mad at it. It's broken out. Although I will say that the volume is not indicative of breakout volume yet. I guess that one at 554. 775. Yeah, so I guess it did finally have some breakout volume on Thursday. That's breakout volume right there on that day. So still probably within a buy range if you want to consider that your breakout day. But the way I trade with my options, I got to time it exactly right, and I've already screwed that up. Yeah, so up 3%, so still within a buy range if you're interested. No major selling happening in this one yet, WHD. I really do like the curling action right there. All right, Russell up slightly, and NASDAQ going back towards flat again, so that's good. Stitch Fix still down 25%. Let's look at some others. We got IQ there, FFIV. Oh, I had a big drop the other day. So it's continuing today. A little bit of bounce back. Hopefully that can continue. Not sure if it's going to bounce. We got earnings coming up here on the 24th. That's important to note. A lot of stocks on Monday yesterday had a big volume bar. Here's another one. Okay, most of that came in at the end of the day. Look at that volume right there. That's pretty interesting, actually. No volume all day long. Then you have a news announcement, maybe? Oh, someone's saying that they're not a natural company at 1:30. And there you go. That's 1:30. This is 11:30 my time. This is 1:30 Eastern time, I believe. So that coincides. And then here you see, look at that big green candle on the 5 minute. And then it looks like they accumulated it throughout the day there. But so far, low volume sell off here. We'll see how that plays out if they're willing to continue supporting it. NASDAQ 0.04, 0.05. If it fails here getting positive, it may be kind of done for the day. We'll have to see. Sometimes it'll test it once, twice, maybe 3 times. This will be the second test to try to get it positive. You see all the blinky action. Those are all trades going through. So you're seeing a lot of what looks like probably selling up here. Just not letting it get flat again. They're just distributing right there. Right where they sold down to yesterday. Here's a cool article. Ford Toyota sales tumble as Tesla ramps up output. Love it. As the Model 3 ramps up, the other car makers ramp down. Tell me Tesla's story is not real. Wow, Tesla produced 80,000 vehicles? That's a lot of vehicles, guys. 52,000 Model 3 sedans, so that's 200,000 annualized. That's pretty good. I mean, that's that's really good. So Tesla's killing the automakers, guys. Killing them. Oh, NASDAQ went positive for a second there. They breached through that resistance. Let's see if they can keep it going. Russell's barely positive. Okay, we got a Square. Something was... Oh, there you go. SNCR is up 5%. All right. Carvana. We talked about them being a possible bottom buy here. Look like that's pretty good. Melly popping a little bit. Now we're getting 5, 3, 2%. Several 1%ers. Although the middle range looks like it's kind of stayed middle. We have some higher echelon players getting here. Square looking really good after that breakout the other day from that little basing area. Micron. And Carvana's not bad right there. THRM. AMRN after, it looks like yesterday finished with a sell day. Get a larger base to buy this thing off of. That'd be great. Urban HCC, which we've been noting recently, was looking really good. Trying to breach a point of resistance. Volume is increasing on this run-up. That's very healthy for HCC, as a matter of fact. NASDAQ went negative again. Still having trouble breaching there. There's still lots of distribution there. Man, are we getting rain all day today? This may be... So in Arizona, we don't get too many just rainy days. And we get this hurricane coming up. right over us here, and it's pretty pretty rainy so far. Very steady. We generally don't get that. 90 to 80% of rain. Yeah, we're just raining. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but HCC showing some good signs here. Russell down again. NASDAQ kind of down again. It's trying to stay up here. Eventually, those bulls may give up, though. A little worried about that. Yeah, storms all day today. Sweet. So he's got to see how this day behaves, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's it. So far in the opening half hour, we've seen a lot of vacillation back and forth. So I mean, they're trying to keep it up, but we'll see if that'll be a futile effort. Russell just went slightly negative after yesterday's crazy day. Let's look at the S&P. S&P slightly negative. Yesterday, a little bit of a sell-off as well. Not as aggressive as the Russell by a long shot. What are the transports doing? There's the Russell transports, which may hold less significance going forward, but probably not. It'll probably remain maintained. So if you guys don't know about the transports, you guys may not. The transports usually will lead the indexes. If the indexes are running and the transports are not, usually it means the indexes are not going to continue running. Reason being is the thought process behind that, because again, no one truly knows, but the thought process behind it is that if the transports are failing, it means there's less goods being transported, meaning that the economy's not as strong as everybody wants to believe. There's kind of a better formed rising wedge there on the transports. I don't think we have near the same on the NASDAQ. Yeah, see, the NASDAQ's basically like a channel right there recently. That's scary for a second. All right, Carvana now leading our day today, guys. Talked about that earlier on that little pullback buy, potentially. And volume's still very, very light today. This thing may not rock. I don't think it's going to rocket today, but we'll see. But I have to see how these markets close. I'm really not happy with the way the Russell is working. That is not bueno. I don't like that. Russell is a major index. Looks like the last time it caved like this was over here. So 2-2. Was right there. NASDAQ caved right along with it. Didn't do so much yesterday. And then the next day was a huge red day. At what point do you buy breakouts, or do you try to buy at the bottom end of the consolidation? That's a good question. Recently, I've been getting better at buying at the bottom of consolidations, but it's a double-edged sword because you never know. You never do know where the bottom is, but there's been a few instances with the market really healthy where sometimes buying in the bottom of the consolidation is an early entry point, not with a full position, but a partial position, can be beneficial. But ideally, like EC is a good example of where you want to buy on the breakout. If the volume looks healthy, you buy right at the breakout point. And that's the art of trading, is the analysis of the volume at the breakout point, and is it healthy or not to continue the move. We saw early on TMIS had a breakout point, without going too crazy, right about there. Actually, I think it was maybe even a little lower. No, that's basically your breakout point, and it rallied there, decent volume, and kind of kept going, but kind of muted. This is going to happen from time to time. TMIS is not a high growth stock, so it may not run nearly as fast. We've seen other ones rise really fast in Square. We bought down over here off of this cup with handle or double bottom, whatever you want to call that, and then it kind of goes off to the races. You're going to have some pullbacks. That's fairly natural. And you have other breakouts that fail. You're gonna fail quite often, but you just have to keep your stops or keep your losses small and your gains large. That's the key there, and that's a larger subject for another day. But I mean, ideally you'd buy at the breakout point. You wouldn't buy deeper in the base. Usually if it breaks out, it runs, and it runs immediately if it's a properly formed chart. When there's a market crash or a financial crisis, do you know if the shorting ETFs are allowed to default your positions? No. No, they won't. The exchanges would do that. The ETFs themselves don't have the ability to do that. The exchanges would have to facilitate that. But if you go into a short and and the market drops a ton, you're going to make all that profit. All right, NASDAQ is green right now, guys. That's good. But if the Russell can't get healthy, the NASDAQ probably won't be able to run forever. I moved into a buy zone yesterday. Well up today. What is this? Cup with handle? 16 months. Really? Oh, beautiful. Look at that. It's already pretty extended up about 6% in VIAV, but they're right. That's looking really good right there, guys. It's a little extended, but it depends if that that bothers you or not. I really don't like the extension there, but that's pretty good. VIAV. Alright, so where's your... So VIAV here is IBD stock of the day. They do 5G technology, which is pretty cool. Also 5G test equipment, which could be really good as everyone's trying to ramp up for 5G. Just heard something on that the other day at NPR. Um, Overseas, China's really trying to become a 5G powerhouse. Unfortunately, they can move faster than we can in the U.S., so they'll probably do it. So there you go. NASDAQ holding green. I mean, very, 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 very small green. NASDAQ, I'm sorry, Russell red. Hmm. That's cool. So I guess they had a first big quarter in a long time, which was looks like this one over here on VIAV. Man, the rain's coming down. All right, guys, I gotta bounce. So have a good day. Yeah, we need to see how this plays out today. Just poked red there on the Nasdaq. Need to see if it's going to maintain or not. It's looking a little bit different here. Looking kind of like a frozen rope. Dan Zanger calls it a frozen rope pattern, but it's really coming to a point where I don't know. The more this fails to move up, the more it looks more like it's going to sell off. Pretty high in distribution count at this particular point in time. 1 or 2 days off from really showing market correction, at least in terms of IBD type of analysis, which is important in my opinion. With Russell selling off, that could be the early warning sign, to be honest with you, right there. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. See you guys tomorrow, or in the Power Hour later if you're in there. Have a good day.